Welcome to the evening session of the City Council meeting. The meeting is now called to order. I'd like to ask our City Clerk to please call the roll.
Deputy Mayor Goebel is absent. All others are present.
Would you please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a brief moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Staff, do you have any agenda changes?
No, sir.
Council members, agenda changes? Or public comment. At this time, any person may address a matter within the jurisdiction of the City Council, Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency that is not on the agenda. Comments relating to items on today's agenda are to be taken at the time the item is heard. State law prohibits discussion or action on items not on the agenda. However, council and authority agency members may briefly respond to statements or questions, and an item may be placed on a future agenda. Angela, do we have any cards under public comment?
We have no cards, sir.
That takes us right to the public hearing then. Item 100 is regarding the 2023-2024 one-year action plan and the CDBG and home allocations and amendment to the fiscal year 22-23 one-year action plan. And I will ask staff to please tell us about this.
Gathering at a later time today. The purpose of today's public hearing is for the adoption of fiscal year 23-24 one-year action plan, to accept, appropriate, and expend the fiscal year 23-24 CDBG and home allocations from HUD, and to process a minor amendment for fiscal year 22-23. This public hearing is the second of two that are required for the adoption of the 23-24 action plan. This includes the CDBG and home allocations for projects and programs for this upcoming fiscal year. All allocations are listed in this slide and detailed in the staff report. Staff published the one-year action plan for a 30-day comment period prior to this public hearing. There were no comments on the action plan received to date. I would like to mention that one applicant for CDBG, which was Home of Guiding Hands, decided to withdraw the application since this project consisted of a rehabilitation of a single-family home. Staff recommends that the funds be added to the new emergency repair pilot program, which will be for the same purpose, rehabilitation of a home as well. The good news is that the allocations increased this year versus last year. Last year, CDBG did see a decrease of 7%, but the CDBG allocations this year did increase. Staff also wants to address the question that came up in the February 28th public hearing regarding the 88 curb ramps in the city and the amount that were left. Public Works staff did clarify that there were 1,800 locations in the city that needed 88 curb ramps. The average that Public Works does is 100 ramps a year with an average cost of $7,500 per ramp. However, that may be different depending if the ramp needs sidewalks or gutters. But in summary, it would cost about $13.5 million to finish all 1,800 ramps in the city. If there are any further questions, though, regarding the ramps, we do have staff from Public Works available to answer those questions for you. I believe at this time, City Council can accept testimony and close the public hearing for the first portion of the adoption of the 23-24 one-year action plan.
Let me see if there's any questions for you first from council. All right, do we have any speaker cards for this item?
No speaker cards, sir.
I'll make a motion then to close the public hearing.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote of those present.
Okay, back to you.
Thank you. Moving on to the next item, the minor amendment to the fiscal year 22-23 one-year action plan. This is a minor amendment requested by Public Works for reallocation of available prior year CDBG unallocated funds for the use in the current fiscal year with accordance to the 5-year consolidated plan. The minor amendment would be a total of $170,106 that is available for reallocation to, again, the current fiscal year. This would be for the 88 Concrete Improvements Project, which is currently active. This action will allow for timely expenditure of the funds. To summarize today's presentation, staff recommends the following. Staff recommends to adopt the resolution to accept, appropriate, and expend the fiscal year 23-24 HUD allocations and approve and adopt the one-year action plan. To adopt the resolution to reallocate, appropriate $170,106 from prior year CDBG unallocated funds to the fiscal year 22-23 88 Concrete Improvements Project, and to increase in appropriation said project in the amount of $170,106 and approve contract change order for Portillo Concrete in order to continue this project. To increase the appropriation for said project, this would allow Public Works to continue to expend funds now instead of waiting for the July 1st start date. The next steps would be to submit the fiscal year 23-24 one-year action plan for HUD approval. Funds do become available on or after July 1st, and we will also process the minor amendment to fiscal year 22-23 one-year action plan. And staff is available to answer any questions. That does conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Any questions?
One quick question. The excess $170,106 that is going towards the 88 concrete improvement, we don't get that funding until July, so I'm assuming that the city's paying for it and then we would get reimbursed. Is that how I understand it?
The $170,106, so that is actually from prior year CDBG unallocated funds, so that money is available to use right now.
Okay.
Versus having to wait to the July 1st start date.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice report. I'm sure it was a lot of work. Appreciate it. Okay, council, it is with us. Any discussion? Somebody would like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve staff recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Please vote.
Motion carries by unanimous vote of those present.
Okay. This brings us then to the adjournment. The adjourned regular joint meeting of the El Cajon Council, El Cajon Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency, held this 25th day of April 2022 is adjourned. So Tuesday, May 9th, 2022 at 3 o'clock p.m. Thank you all very much for a brief but satisfying meeting. Thanks.